today we are going to take a look at the two best exercises for your chest, mainly the sternal or middle part if you have to pick from all the exercises out there. Also answering how many times you should do them, sets and reps, how to structure it into your training split to get the best results, best technique to get the most out of it, and lastly the exercises to avoid for the same muscle if you don't want to hinder your gains. So let's get into it. The pecs are fanning out from the upper humerus or arms all the way to the middle of your sternum, and it has three distinct parts. The clavicular, upper, the sternal or the middle and also the largest part, and the costal, and that's the lower chest. The clavicular head flexes your arm, so raises it. Yes, I know what you are thinking of, front raise. The sternal head is responsible for horizontal adduction of your arms and also medial rotation of your humerus or arm if we don't want to be fancy. The sternocostal or the lower pec is responsible for extending your arm and horizontally adducting it from a flexed position. So basically the opposite of your upper chest. And now that the boring biology is behind us and we understand what we are looking for in an exercise, let's go into the first one. Dumbbell bench press. It is accessible and progressible. However, these two don't really do much if we are looking for the best of the best. The main reason is the positioning and how it trains your chest. Your execution can make or break the exercise. It is all about what gets the leverage to be active. If you are doing bench press and your chest is not active, it's not going to experience much growth. Sounds obvious, right? Yet, it is not. If you do a bench press with flat elbows, then your chest is going to lose leverage, and since you are doing shoulder flexion, and that's done by the shoulders, especially if you give them leverage, that's how you get no chest. But by keeping your elbow closer to your body, your chest is going to be in a more favorable position to do the exercise, aka it gets leverage. And this is also the reason why a lot of gym bros are struggling to grow their chest even though they are doing all kinds of bench presses. It is not enough to do the exercise, you need the correct execution. And since the middle chest benefits from stretch-mediated hypertrophy, it makes sense to do it in a full range of motion. I don't want to talk too much about stretch-mediated hypertrophy, but it's enough for you to know that it happens quickly in a matter of weeks and then it plateaus quickly. So why bother doing it when it plateaus? Well, because you can lose it just as quickly. So by doing an exercise, every 5 to 7 days that stimulates the stretch position can help you maintain its length. 1 to 3 sets in the 5 to 9 rep range is close to failure, if not all the way to failure. Make sure that your intention is to progressively overload, not just to complete the sets from week to week. And the second one is chest fly. Sounds obvious, but I don't mean the dumbbell variation, because that's poop. I mean the machine when the highest tension on you is when your arms are across your body. The chest is really good at this function and also strong at it with minimal contribution from other muscles. When your arms are next to your side, that is not the important part of this exercise, so you can bend your arms more to get the tension off your biceps. The most important part is going to be the top. Try to get your biceps as close to each other as possible with straight arms just to get the most out of these exercises, especially your chest from this contracted position. And unfortunately, it can suffer from active insufficiency, as in over-shortening and not being able to produce much force, but it is not going to be an issue. So why did I say it? It's just the boring part. 2 to 3 sets in the 5 to 9 rep ranges and feel very free to push it all the way to absolute failure, because what is going to happen? Nothing. This is a super safe exercise. Structuring it is going to be similar like the lats. While the chest is sensitive to muscle damage and its recovery is questionable at best, if you don't overdo the volume part, you can train it twice, and you can also do chest fly twice per week. So basically you can do both of them twice. I would leave an exercise gap in between them if you do them on the same day. If they are your prior, then you can put it as the first and the third exercise. If they are not, then you can put it as the third and the last one. Nothing is set in stone, but keep in mind that as you progress with your training, every set you do is going to be less and less stimulating because of fatigue. And if your recovery is really bad, even after 5 days, then it is worth going down to 1 to 2 working sets. And if that doesn't fix the issue, then only do 2 to 3 chest exercises per week. And as for the 2 worst chest exercises to avoid, it was tough. plate press. First, how are you going to progressively overload when you can't even hold a heavier plate, let alone there is not much heavier plate after 25 kg. Maybe the 50 kg one if your gym has it, but that's quite a big jump. Second, it is more of a triceps exercise rather than chest, and even for that, it sucks. Remember when I said that the execution will dictate what is going to be active and trained. When your arms are tucked in, your chest doesn't have much leverage. It will be your triceps moving the weight. Not to mention the range of motion is awkward. You're just about parallel, but you never get to the point where the exercise is the most challenging. So if you have been doing this exercise, it is never too late to leave it in the iron graveyard and never touch it again. And the second one was a difficult choice. From floor press to fly, I had to go with the fly. And this is not to pick on Jeff from Athlete X, but every exercise has a curve, but it is the hardest and how it will challenge the targeted muscle. And in this case, it is going to be below 90 degrees. But you can't get there because there is the floor. Plus, it is a fly, the tension will die out early on, and also getting your arms in an angle where the pecs have the most leverage is difficult too. This might be a safe exercise, but it is just that, safe. But also one of the worst things you can do if your focus is chest. If you have access to a pair of dumbbells, then you can do one of the best exercises off the bench. And if you want to know the only 2 exercises for your lats, then watch this video next to obtain the next one.